We see them every single day, on our streets, in our parks, right outside our windows. They're just kind of there, the quiet, constant backdrop to our lives. But what if these silent giants are doing way more for us than just providing a little shade? What if they're actively working to make us healthier, safer, and, yeah, even wealthier? Well, we're about to find out just how deep those roots really go.
So that's the big question we're diving into. We're going to unpack the science behind the incredible and honestly pretty surprising benefits that trees give us, as individuals and as a whole society. And believe me, this goes way beyond just cleaning the air we breathe. The evidence we're about to see suggests trees are a fundamental piece of our human infrastructure.
I mean, just look at the difference here. It's the same basic street, right? But the feeling is worlds apart. On the left, it's harsh, kind of bleak. On the right, it's vibrant, it's alive, it's welcoming. And that gut reaction you're having, that's powerful, but it's only scratching the surface. The really amazing stuff is what we can't see. All right, so let's start at the most personal level, our own health. We all learned in grade school that trees make oxygen. And that's true, and it's obviously super important. But the health benefits are so much more direct and so much more amazing than just that.
So in Japan, they have this practice called Shinrin-yoku, which translates to forest bathing. Now, this isn't about hiking or jogging. It's literally just the simple act of being calm and quiet among the trees, taking it all in, and breathing deeply. And what's so cool is that scientists have put this under the microscope and have documented its very real, measurable medical effects.
And the list of benefits is just staggering. I mean, get this. Forest bathing has been shown to lower your blood pressure, reduce stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, and it can actually boost your immune system. People report sleeping better, feeling less anxious or depressed, and having a greater sense of energy. It's like a powerful, all-natural prescription for feeling good.
And this effect is so powerful, you can even see it in a hospital. One major study found that patients recovering from surgery who had a view of trees from their window recovered, on average, 8.5% faster. Not only that, they needed less pain medication than patients who were just staring at a brick wall. A simple view of nature literally helps us heal.
And here's the best part. You don't need to go camping for a week to feel these effects. Nope. Research from places like Shanghai has shown that even a short walk down a tree-lined city street has a huge restorative impact. It cuts down on stress and just makes you feel better. Okay, so trees are good for our personal health. Got it. But what if we zoom out? Can they actually make an entire community safer? Well, the answer, believe it or not, is a big yes.
There's this old idea, this myth, that if a neighborhood has a lot of trees and bushes, it just gives criminals more places to hide, right? So more trees must mean more crime. It kind of seems logical on the surface, but the actual data tells a completely different story.
In fact, the reality is the exact opposite. A huge study out of Chicago looked at crime reports and compared them to how much greenery was around buildings. The findings? They were absolutely mind-blowing. Buildings with lots of trees and plants saw dramatically fewer crimes.
Just let that sink in for a second. 48% fewer property crimes. That is almost half. That's a massive, massive difference. And it's directly linked to just having more trees around.
And if you thought that was wild, get this. A 56% drop in violent crimes. And this isn't just a one-off fluke. Study after study has confirmed this powerful connection between green spaces and safer streets.
So what is going on here? Why does this happen? Well, researchers have a few key ideas. First, just being in nature has a proven calming effect, reducing things like aggression. Second, it's a social signal. A well-kept green space tells everyone people care about this place. And finally, it's about us. Beautiful parks and streets just draw more people outside, creating more eyes on the street and a stronger, more connected community.
So we've covered our health and we've covered our safety, but the benefits still don't stop there. Trees have a real, tangible, dollars and cents impact on our economy. It turns out money really can grow on trees. A huge study by the USDA Forest Service actually added it all up. You want to know the collective value that trees add to private homes every single year across the country? A whopping $31.5 billion. And if you bring it down to your own house, the effect is just as clear. Having healthy, mature trees on your property can boost your home's value by as much as 15%. I mean, that makes planting a tree one of the best home improvement projects you could possibly do. And this economic boost isn't just for homes. It's for businesses too. Studies show that shoppers will actually spend more money in shopping districts that have a nice, healthy tree canopy. And on top of that, commercial offices with a good view of those trees can charge up to 7% more for rent. It really seems that green is the color of money.
And wait, there's more. Businesses in these greener areas also report that their workers are more productive and they take fewer sick days. So you end up with a happier, healthier, more productive workforce. It's just a win-win all around.
So when you pull it all together, the evidence for our health, our safety, our economy, it becomes really clear that we need to start looking at trees in a completely new light. They are so much more than just pretty scenery.
They're active, working pieces of our infrastructure. Think about it. They're a public health tool, a crime prevention strategy, an economic engine, and an air purification system all rolled into one. They are a silent, tireless workforce improving our lives in so many ways.
So, the next time you walk down a beautiful, tree-lined street, just take a second to look around. You're not just looking at scenery. You are walking through a living, breathing system that is actively working to make your life and the lives of everyone around you better.
Which really just leaves us with one final thought. Knowing everything they do for us, calming our minds, making our streets safer, boosting our local economies, the question isn't whether we can afford to plant and care for trees. The real question is, can we afford not to?